baby, you already know the Carters and the Knowles clan are the blueprint of secrecy in the industry, but there's one thing even their PR machine can't keep under wraps, and that's those unmistakable Knowles genes. I mean, take a good look at this picture. You'd swear you're staring at a throwback of Beyoncé in her teenage years. But no, honey, that's her half-sister. And the older she gets, the more she's giving us Beyoncé and Solange realness. The resemblance is undeniable. But hold on, we're just getting started. Because that girl isn't the only surprise half-sibling floating around in the Knowles family tree. Oh no, baby. Matthew Knowles has been wild since the Destiny's Child era, and today we're unpacking just how deep the rabbit hole goes and why Beyoncé and Solange seem to want nothing to do with these siblings. Nothing. Not even a like on Instagram. Let's start with the one y'all might have heard about, Coy Knowles, Beyoncé's half-sister from her daddy's affair with Takoya Branscombe. First off, can we talk about how this girl grew up to be absolutely stunning? Like, she's straight up breathtaking. Those eyes, baby, Beyoncé herself couldn't deny them if she tried. Takoya, Koi's mom, revealed that she met Matthew while working as a dancer. And back then, Koi was like the queen of his world, until she got pregnant. That's when the fairy tale crashed and burned. Not only did Matthew dip out, but he even had the nerve to deny Koi was his, until a DNA test dragged the truth out.
Told Matthew Knowles that you were pregnant with his child. How did he react?
Very much. Well, you can't get pregnant by me. You know, it can't be my child. You can't deny it once DNA test comes out 99.9% that you are the father.
All single ladies, all single.
Now here's where the plot thickens. Allegedly, Takoya was tight with Solange. Yup, she met her through a stylist back in 2008, and they were spotted hitting up clubs and bars in Texas like old friends. And get this, Matthew knew that his side chick was partying with his daughter. Solange, on the other hand, she had no idea she was sharing drinks with the woman her father was cheating with. Eventually, Takuya came forward and owned up to the whole thing. She told Inside Edition, "Yes, I slept with a married man and it was the wrong thing to do, but I have a beautiful daughter from it." Despite the chaos and legal mess, she once held out hope that Beyoncé would reach out to Koi one day. They're half-sisters, she said. Maybe one day that'll matter. But guess what? That day still hasn't come. Years have passed. Beyoncé and Solange remain absolutely silent. No connection, no outreach, no sisterly brunch dates. Nothing. And baby, Koi isn't alone. Turns out, Beyoncé and Solange also have a half-brother named Nixon, born from another one of Matthew's affairs, this time with Alexandra Wright. Same story, different woman. Matthew refused to pay child support. At one point, Alexandra and little Nixon were living in a homeless shelter just to survive. She literally couldn't afford to take care of her child because Matthew ghosted her financially. Now, as for Bey and Solange, they've also never acknowledged Nixon. But Alexandra, she's not bitter toward Beyoncé. In fact, she said multiple times that she doesn't blame the girls for what their cheating father did.
The fight for my son's rights. I got over 1,000 death threats last week alone.
What?
Because this article said that I blame Beyoncé, which again, let me say for the record, it's not her fault. I've never blamed her. I want the best for her. Everyone's in.
Alexandra even wrote a heartfelt open letter about the situation. She said, "With a heavy heart, we head back to Superior Court to fight for the rights of my son, Nixon Knowles." She said she tried everything before resorting to court, hoping Matthew would step up as a father, but all she got was silence and betrayal. She said that when she first met Matthew, he acted like a mentor, giving her career advice and building a professional bond. But of course, it turned into something more. And while she didn't mean to hurt anyone, she did own the pain she caused Tina, Beyoncé, and Solange. "I regret the pain I contributed to his family," she said. "I admire his daughters. They are lovely women." Ooh, but hold on, because rumor has it there's yet another older sibling out there, one we don't even know much about. And God knows how many more there could be. At this point, Beyoncé and Solange are probably like, how many people did our father mess around with? And you know what? That might explain a lot. Maybe Bey and Solange don't want relationships with their half-siblings because the trauma runs too deep. Matthew didn't just betray their mom. He publicly humiliated her multiple times. And these kids, whether they meant to or not, they're walking reminders of that betrayal. Some folks online are saying, why should Bey and Solange have to deal with people they never even grew up with? Adultery isn't just a betrayal to the spouse. It's a betrayal to the whole family. And imagine being Beyoncé or Solange, watching your father parade around like he's untouchable while leaving a trail of heartbreak behind. It's a lot. But on the flip side, Some people believe the half-siblings aren't at fault, that they deserve love too. Alexandra once revealed that Beyoncé bought a house just 10 miles from where she and Nixon lived in a trailer, and yet, silence. She said Nixon used to ask, "Why doesn't that person love me?" Can you even imagine hearing your kids say that? Alexandra admitted she doesn't know how to help Nixon understand why his sister, one of the most famous women in the world, won't acknowledge him. She believes the next generation might be better, that maybe Nixon's kids or Beyoncé's daughters will open the door one day and say, "Let's talk." But until then, Nixon has to deal with adults at his school asking if he's Beyoncé's brother and even taking pictures of him. He's never had the luxury of just being a kid. And the saddest part, his big sister wants nothing to do with him. Now, here's where it gets even messier. Because this family tree, it don't stop with Matthew. Nope, let's talk about Jay-Z. Apparently, Beyoncé's husband has his own list of alleged secret children, and she's allegedly doing everything she can to keep him from acknowledging any of them. Take Ramir Satterthwaite, for example. His mom, Wanda, says she hooked up with Jay-Z back in 1992 after he picked her up in Philly and took her to his aunt's apartment in Brooklyn. According to Wanda, the protection failed, and other than a follow-up visit 2 weeks later, Jay was gone. Ramir said he was around 8 years old when his mom told him she believed Jay-Z was his dad. Since then, he's been fighting for over a decade to get Jay-Z to take a paternity test and acknowledge him.
Met Jay-Z
Yes.
and had intercourse with him. How old was she?
I would say I think she was about 16, 17, or 16, just turning 16 or 17. I know it was one of them.
And Jay-Z was what age?
I wouldn't happen to know. I think was he in his 20s?
I read 22.
Oh, yeah.
I think I read 22, but he was in his 20s.
Yes, I wouldn't happen to know his age, but 22, I'm pretty sure if they put that out there, then
Yeah.
that's what his age was.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out to our audience that Jay-Z having sex with a minor would make that child because she was underage at the time. And then furthermore, the fact that he took her from one state to another state, I imagine would be in a violation of.
And here's where it gets scary. Ramir said that after he filed a civil suit, someone tried to unalive him. He was literally shot at. He also claimed Jay-Z's legal team lied in court, saying they misspoke about evidence, while allegedly trying to settle the matter quietly years ago. Ramir's godmother, Dr. Lily, claims Beyoncé played a big role in all this. She says Beyoncé herself pressured Jay-Z into staying silent and even mocked Ramir in their music.
Thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp,
Okay.
and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay,
Okay.
about regarding saying Ramir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there
Right.
with this song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property. Somebody came to my property in the evening time and had a conversation about trying to get in.
And if you thought that was the only shocker, think again. There's also Letitia M., who came out on Instagram claiming to be Jay-Z's daughter. "I've been quiet for too long," she said. "Everyone in my city knows Jay-Z is my father. I've raised 4 kids, including twins, while working 2 jobs and going to school full-time.
Sclerosis. I've been hearing that Jay-Z was my father all my life. There's no way that he can deny anything, especially when people were there that know him. And we was there, he just looked at me and he was like, Dad, Dad. Haven was in my living room. He was talking to my mom. I was gonna leave it alone. They brought me one of those ancestry tests. Finally, I get some type of answers.
Letitia was reportedly born in 1990 after Jay-Z began a relationship with her mother, Lisa, through Lisa's sister. The sister even confirmed it on Facebook, writing that she introduced them herself. She recalled the parties, the drinking, the chilling at her apartment, and the relationship between Jay and Lisa. Even one of Jay-Z's old friends, Ashino, backed up the claim, saying Jay-Z bought a house for Letitia in Cambridge, Maryland, and even paid her bills. But allegedly, he told her she couldn't hang any photos of him as part of the deal.
It's the daughter he got. I'm not hiding my daughter for nobody. The whole reason to get money is for you.
Eventually, that same friend said Jay cut ties with Letitia and her mother, who is now in a wheelchair. And guess what? Word on the street says it was Beyoncé who told him to walk away. There's even more tea. A man named Gerald Andrews claimed that Jay-Z fathered a child with model Chanel Scott. Gerald thought he was the dad, until a DNA test revealed the truth. The real father, allegedly. And given everything we know about Jay-Z's past, who's to say there aren't even more kids we don't know about? So the big question is, if Beyoncé's allegedly telling her husband not to acknowledge his own children, do you really think she's gonna turn around and embrace her half-siblings? I don't know, y'all. This whole family tree is giving messy, secretive, and tragic. Let me know what y'all think about this twisted web in the comments below.